Hello and welcome. This is Tiger Vision. We are Duval and we have an incredible show lined up for you today. We have an extremely special guest today. Um, Coach, I'll pass it to you and I'll allow you to do the introduction.
Well, if he doesn't know, usually I'm repping my basketball stuff, but if you can see, it's E-Dub football today.
Yes, sir.
Repping football, and we got the one and only Coach Morgan on the show today, so we can talk about what's going on with EWU football and the success they're having, and why we're where we are right now. So thank you for coming on the show, Coach Morgan.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, man. This is big, man. This is awesome. Glad to be part of this. Hey, we truly are Duval, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Coach, listen, so happy and grateful to have you on. First and foremost, I don't want to congratulate you as if the season is over. You guys still have two more games left to play, at least, maybe more.
Right,
But
right.
a incredible ride thus far, Coach. What has it been like in that locker room with the guys?
Well, it's been an emotional ride. I can tell you that. From where we started. Fortunately, we didn't get off to the start that we wanted to get off to. We got off to an 0-3 start, but in that 0-3, we learned a lot about each other. And what we learned was one thing was that these young men had no quit in them, and I think that was the most important piece that we wanted to kind of hound on and continue to build on. And then, there was a reality check. And the reality check was that, in those three games, we beat ourselves just as equally or if not more than the opponent that we played beat. And then the way we kind of lost the Fort Valley game was an eye opener to the point to whereas, this is a really good football team. And if we just do the right things that we need to do and we get some success, we'll be fine. So, we got that first win and we just got to rolling. So we're proud of where we are right now. Very resilient group. The last 2 weeks have been super exciting, but nonetheless, a win is a win. So we are truly excited about it.
Absolutely, Coach. You get a touchdown late in the game last week to beat Albany State, and it was back to back game winning touchdowns. Did, how are you feeling at these moments when the football is in the air? Like what is going through your mind?
Well, you kind of know what these young men are capable of doing, and you know their personality. And that last drive when things got to rolling, and you get one first down and you get two first downs, and then it kind of goes into let's get into to field goal range. And then we got into field goal range, and there was a lot more time left. It was like, let's manage these timeouts now. Let's make the decision. Everybody on the same page. We're inside the 20. We're going to go for the win. But, we understood a field goal, took it into overtime, and we felt that we had built up enough momentum that if we got into overtime, we would be equally as successful. But we wanted to give the guys an opportunity to win it in regulation. Was very smart about what we did. And it came down to, the final play before we had to make that tough decision. Gave a young man the opportunity, Devin Thompson, to make the play. He goes up and he makes the catch. Great throw, great protection, and they won. But it was a collective effort. I would be remiss not to talk about the resiliency. We would go down, we score on the first possession, and then for the next 12 minutes of real time, we didn't play very good football. On in all three aspects. Go down to the half, down 24-7, and Albany State had the opportunity to make that 31-7 real easily, but we came out in the second half, made some adjustments. Defense stood up, got two stops back to back, and we got that first touchdown on the board. And then it was just about chipping away at it and giving ourselves the position at the end of the game to be able to put ourselves in position to win. That's what we did, and it worked out in our favor. So.
Coach, an amazing job. Looking at it statistically, you've got two wide receivers at the top of the charts in the SIAC. But for me, of course, the quarterbacks get all the love, and you've got yourself a heck of a quarterback. I want to talk about Mr. Russell right here, the new Edward Waters University modern era single season leader in passing yards and passing TDs. Coach, tell me a little bit about your quarterback, Mr. Russell, and what it's been like to watch him grow in the program.
Well, he's Mr. Humility. That's what I call him. He's not what you would think he would be. He's not. He will talk in front of crowds, but he's not the one that's going to be the loudest person in the room ever. He just comes to work, works hard, does a great job at what he does. And I think the biggest thing is last year he came out and he separated his shoulder against Florida Memorial. We didn't get him back until the final four games. He inserted him there as the starter, and we won those four games back to back. And so I think he understood, what it was to be really, really high, but to come from being really, really, really in a place as an athlete or a student athlete that you don't really want to, being that he came in as a graduate transfer, had his degree. So now, going from just focusing on school and football is now school, football, and rehab. So now he rehabbed that shoulder, which was his throwing shoulder, which kind of made it, that much more mental. Then to see him work this off season, that's where the leadership part came. So he was able to pull from that experience, and now the team bought into his leadership. We have an incredible young group of receivers that are dynamic, a young offensive line, but a very experienced offensive line, an experienced running back crew, and a very good defense that, when they come to play, they come to play. So I think he just not bought in, got the buy-in from just the offense. He got the buy-in from the coaches as well as the entire team as a leader, and then they were able to rally behind that. And when things weren't as bright as they are now, he never faltered. Even in some of those performances, he had outstanding games, but they were overshadowed by, us not coming out on top on the end in the end. And he persevered through, and right now he's just been able to put the fruits of his labor together.
Now, Coach, I got to tell you, there was no bigger fan of your Tigers throughout this season. We talk about it week after week. Then Coach Huff called it and said that you guys were going to get it rolling, and he said, "Hey, they could go 3, 4, 5 in a row," and here we are, 5 games in a row, and your biggest fan has been the guy up top.
What it was for me is when I saw the replay of the touchdown, the end zone coffee. Coach Huff has the highest vert in Jacksonville. I'm telling you, he jumped so high in the air celebrating. Oh, that was awesome just to see. Man, that was awesome just to see. So I went down there, man, and just to say thank you to him. Just he was enjoying the game, and truly, truly, you could tell it was a genuine celebration. Rooting for us from the bottom of his heart, and that's what this is all about. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm equally as supportive of him and his program, and I already see the great things that's going on there, and so definitely I want to be there and support that brother as well because he's just been amazing since he's been here.
I appreciate it, Coach, and I gotta keep it going. It's been 5. I've said it 5 times in a row. But we getting it done again Saturday. I'm just letting people know. 6 in a row. We getting it done.
Six in a row. The kids they're like, Coach, you just don't even take it all in because as soon as it's over, I'm on the number 6. So so it's something special happening, and you just want to stay in the moment. You don't want to get too high. You don't want to get too low. You just want to kind of stay in that moment, stay even keeled for those young men. But you understand that there's a task at hand that needs to be done. You need them to celebrate it, and sometimes as much as you want to celebrate it, you got to be that constant for them and help to refocus them and keep them on to help them understand the same things that you did to get number one, two, three, four, and five. You have to do that and a little bit more to get number six. So that's kind of where we are with it.
As we talk about game number 6, we'll be on the road for game number 6 against Allen University. Allen University rolling as well, and it will be Allen's homecoming. Now, that hasn't gone well for anybody else.
I was gonna say, ask them how that worked out for them last week.
That has not played out well for anybody else. Yes, Tuskegee, we're talking about you. Uh, but you're going into Allen University. We talked about the amount of respect that you and I both share for Coach Teddy Keaton over there at Allen. We're going to see two statistically really high rated quarterbacks, two great groups of running backs between Edward Waters and Allen. Coach, just break down what you expect from your team coming into this game.
Well, there's a lot of narratives that go into this game. Their defensive coordinator was actually my college head coach at Tennessee State, so there's that added incentive where where you want to perform well, but at the same time you want to let them know that we're coming in here to win as well. So it's homecoming. There's no arrogance about it. Everybody knows why you schedule a team for homecoming. You schedule a team for homecoming because you feel like you can get a win. So with that added incentive, we know that it's their homecoming, their senior night, the AME Classic, their Hall of Fame. They got all that extra momentum going for them. So we know that they're going to come out charged and ready to come out of the gate playing. So we got to come out, meet their intensity, meet their level of execution, and make sure that we're able to come out and we play mistake-free football as best we can. Take some of the fire out of them, and then when things settle down, just be who we are, playing our brand of football. We know they have a dynamic quarterback in David Wright that we know if we allow to stand back there and deliver, it could be problems. They have a running back, Bo Harrington, who's right here in Florida, who left Florida to go past Jacksonville all the way to South Carolina. Don't know how that happens, but with that being said, we know that he's going to come to play as well. And, there are seniors that don't want to go out on a losing note, and it's homecoming. So they're going to have, their fans there expecting to see a specific type of performance. But we're bringing some guys down there that equally don't want to lose and want to perform and are prepared to perform as best they can. And we definitely just feel like it's going to be a great matchup. Very competitive, good for the conference, good for rival, good for the AME Church. But at the end, we just need to play our brand of football. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Don't worry about all the extra narratives, and just be who we are and let that take care of what it needs to.
That the AME Classic is definitely going to be one to watch this weekend. I'll be trying to get tuned in. I'll be between a basketball game and your game, but I'm going to try to double hand them and do them both. But definitely looking forward to that football game. Coach, I want to talk a little bit about culture, because when I see a team do what your team has done, it tells me a lot about the culture and the belief that has been installed in these kids. A lot of people don't know this is your third season, but when you took over this team, you basically took over a 1-10 football team that's
Right.
now been building momentum every year. What has that been like to instill this team with confidence and with a culture that the university can be proud of?
Well, firstly, I have to, take my hat off to my assistant coaches. That the first thing that they've done that's just been great is bought into our culture and our philosophy. And our culture, we use two words. One that I borrowed from Doc Rivers, that Coach Huff might be familiar with, and that's Ubuntu. I am because you are the being of humanity, understanding that it's not just about me. It has to be about us. Everybody has an equal role in the success. This success. If it's not successful, everybody had an equal role in it failing. So we got to hold everybody accountable to that. And then, then there's the generation that we serve today, that they love the bells and whistles. So it's a saying that we always have: make do with what you have and win with the work that you put in. So when you really think about football, all you need is 110 yards long, 54 yards wide, and oblong pigskin object. And the rest of it that you get is, is extra. As long as you have the bare essentials, that's enough for you to be successful. Now you want more, but you have to work for it, and you continue to do what you need to do off the field, in the classroom. Those things will come, but it has to be a successful product that you're branding, a successful product that you're marketing, a successful product that's winning, and then the rest of that stuff will come. But we can't make excuses when we got here about what we didn't have or what we don't have. We got to work for that stuff, and I just think that you take that mantra on and you eliminate that excuse out of the locker room, and you put them on the field and you replace that with the initiative of hard work is all it's going to take, because even when you get that stuff, you're still going to have to put the hard work in. There's going to be no substitute for it. You'll get all that stuff and you just won't be a very good team. But there's no substitute for the hard work. So we don't overlook that, and we don't not talking about wanting to win or going to win, because I think when you hide that, it kind of says that you're not bought into winning because you're afraid of all the things that come along with having to win. The accountability, the responsibility, the ownership, all of that stuff that comes along with it. So, one thing when we started about going out and recruiting, we went to guys at programs that were winning programs. So, we didn't necessarily want to come in and say, not because you're talented. You being talented and us teaching you how to win are two different things, and that's 2 years in the process. So we went to programs that bred winners. And when they got here, even if they didn't know how to be a college football player, we can teach you that. That's why we got coach in front of our name. But if you're a winner, you buy in that much quicker. So I think that's just kind of been the thing that's kind of gotten us to this point, and it's a formula we want to continue to follow, and it's just worked so far. So we're just gonna continue to see it through.
But Coach, you talk about bells and whistles now, and you talk about what you've done. There have been some improvements now since you've been here.
Absolutely.
That locker room is brand new, and the weight room, and
Hey,
let's
cause
talk a
them
little bit about
helmets,
that.
man. Ooh, them helmets. Woo.
Now, definitely, those are definitely grave improvements that we've had. But at the same time, once you get them, to get more,
To whom much is given, much is required, Coach.
exactly. But no, from that standpoint, I know we will both agree that administration has been great as far as seeing the vision and wanting to invest in these student athletes, on the field and off the field. So that's been great, and I guess, to my point also, I just wanted them to understand that the way that you say thank you for that stuff, and you help
Yes.
to increase, the amount of things that you're able to receive, is one, by that transcript, that report card that you get
Right.
at the end of semesters, and then ultimately the amount of wins and losses that you have.
Mhm.
So you're able to take care of those two and check those two boxes. You won't have to ask for help. You'll inspire
Right.
it.
Absolutely. Coach, I'm gonna start calling Errol Waters championship you. Because that seems to be the culture around that building, and I feel like you guys have the program on the right track and trending in that direction. So that's fantastic. Coach, I happen to know a little bit that you were in on the interview as Coach Huff was coming in to test the water. Coach, you can be honest. We're a family on this show. What was he shaking like a leaf on a tree during the interview, Coach? Was he nervous, Coach, at all?
Coach, I think that was the thing. That was the thing. He walked in, and it didn't matter, what you probably could have thrown at him that day. It wouldn't have mattered. His mind was made up. He was confident in his answers. They weren't manufactured. They were genuine. What I saw was, he could get these young men to play for him immediately. And it wasn't, it was about, we're talking about culture. It was about culture shift, and I even said, after he stepped out of the room, that brother can go down there and have practice right now and get these guys to play for him right now. So, it was that type of thing. And, one of the biggest things was fit. And, it just seemed to be a really, really, really good fit. His spirit, the way he presented himself, the way he presented his brand, his questions, his program, his assistant coaches, what he was looking for, the whole 9 yards was there. So for me, it didn't seem like it was going to be a no-brainer. It seemed like it was a no-brainer. So, um, so and I think I still owe him lunch. Don't I owe you lunch, don't I, Coach?
You owe me lunch. I'll let you finish this great season.
Fantastic. Well, Coach, we absolutely appreciate you coming on to the show. We've had a terrific time. I don't want to take away too much of your preparation time. I know you're getting ready for Allen, but good luck to you this weekend, Coach. We'll be pulling for you. I'll be screaming at my monitor on every play.
If my manager gives me an update during the game and I jump up and down and it has nothing to do with our scrimmage, just know what I'm doing.
I got you. Well, we're gonna try to have you jumping early and often.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Coach. Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right. Appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
What a fantastic guy.
Man, one of the best, man. Just his realness, his genuine spirit, and his stick-to-itiveness. Like, it was evident. And I should have mentioned this when Tuskegee scores with less than a minute left. It was said he was walking that sideline and said, "We still got time, fellas. We all right. We still got time."
Wow. Hey, listen.
It might not be the exact words, but it was very close to that. I know.
I'm pretty sure that if I had a quarterback like that, I might be saying the same thing. When you got Brady, y'all left too much time on the clock. When you got Brady, no, it's getting a chance to meet Coach Morgan. It is no surprise why his team plays so hard and plays the way that they do. Pretty easy guy to rally around.
Yes, sir.
This game against Allen, make no mistakes about it, it's gonna be a tough one.
It is.
I mean,
but so was Tuskegee. So was Albany State.
For sure.
So was Lane.
Hey, we were saying the exact same thing against Lane. We were saying the same thing.
So I mean, yes, it's going to be on the road, but that football program, and I love basketball, but I've also been around programs where you understand what football can do to a university, a school, and galvanize it going into the whole year. And that's what they've done for this fan base, for this alumni base, for the students, for the faculty, for the staff. It's galvanized everyone at Edward Waters. And that excitement, it just carries over to every other sport.
Hey, listen, when you can go and win at somebody else's homecoming,
40,000.
and part of that 40,000, I'm sorry, we know it's recruits at homecoming games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There are recruits at homecoming games. And, you know, maybe somebody decided, well, you know, I might want to, those uniforms look nice. They look like they play a pretty exciting brand of football. Right. So, no, I think it's what they've been able to do so far has been incredible. And we talk about the types of teams that they've beaten, right? When you you know, when you talk about Lane, you talk about Savannah State, Tuskegee, Albany State, you know, we're talking about teams that have a history, right? I mean, Shannon Sharp talks about Savannah State,
right,
all the time, right?
And if you talk to anybody from Albany, they'll tell you about the success Albany State has had in football.
Absolutely.
And I tell people, you know, and yes, I know he mentioned it shook them up, and it took that loss or one of those losses, but especially that one versus Fort Valley State to show them how good they could be if they just eliminated some mistakes. But what happens if they had, you know, they were up on Fort Valley late in that game? Like last 2 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Listen, and Fort Valley, a top 2 team in the conference.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah. That it had to show them what their potential really was. And, you know, it's one of those things when you're coaching a team that's not been there before.
Gotta learn how to win. Gotta learn how to win.
Absolutely. There's
turn that corner.
So they've got a chance to go from a team that is hopeful to a team that walks into a season with expectation. And that's a dangerous team to play, a team that comes out every day and expects to win.
And I want people to really understand what this means for 2 reasons. Early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, is when football came back to Edward Waters at the NAIA level. So you got to imagine there were some naysayers when our president, Dr. Faison, said, let's go Division II. Let's go to the SIAC. Like, let's play D2 football. No, coach, what you talking? We can't do that. That's not smart.
Absolutely.
And to see, you know, people may not understand his love for athletics or why he was so emotional because of that. Like, there's a reason when people don't believe in your vision. And we got to understand God doesn't give your vision to everybody else. He had that vision, and to see it come to fruition, that's something meaningful.
Coach, and I mean, not just go to the SIAC. Now you're winning.
Right. Correct.
You haven't been in the conference very long. So you go from just entering as an NAI, and Allen doing the same thing, entered as an NAI, and now winning football games. It says a lot about your ability to hire the right people.
Correct.
And trust the right people to do their job. And that's, you know, sometimes with leaders, they become a bottleneck, right? But great leaders, right? I call them construction workers, great leaders, because they just move obstacles out of the way. They clear.
And you would never know there was an obstacle there. Like outside looking in, you would never know there was even an issue.
Absolutely. So, you know, I gotta talk about Dr. Rich and Dr. Faison, who have done a tremendous job up and down athletics of finding the right people, with giving them the tools that they need to be successful, and clearing out roadblocks, because the success doesn't come without that, I don't think.
Right. I agree.
Well, Coach, we are going to talk some basketball. We're going to talk some basketball. You're heading into your first scrimmage. It's going to be a close scrimmage, and we talked about how difficult of an opponent that you have.
Right.
It being a close scrimmage kind of calmed my nerves just a little bit, because Claflin is a really tough team.
They are, with a great coaching style, great players,
experience.
Yep.
Playing together, right?
Right.
So, but I got to know, Coach, if you had to give your team a report card as of today, just based off of what you've seen so far, how are you grading them out, and how do you feel like the guys are doing every day?
It's an incomplete.
And
that's not because we haven't done things well. It's not because there are things we have to improve upon, but we're incomplete right now. We haven't played anybody else. We don't know what it's going to be like when we lace it up and there's a bit of adversity and it's not someone that's on our team. We don't know what it's like when the lights are on, whether it's a closed scrimmage or not. So that's why I say an incomplete. But I can tell you this: we have made some major strides in the last week and two. And that comes when you're in year one. And guys are beginning to know what you want as a staff and know what it's like to play with the players next to them. And okay, if I can get this player the ball right here, we got a great opportunity of winning. Or he's got a great opportunity of having success. And the one thing these guys compete, man. They compete. They work their tails off. They work to get better. They don't shy away from the criticism, of us coaches saying, you weren't very good today. Or you got to be better. Or what can I do to be better? We've got to tell those guys when we finish a practice, hey, yo, we got to break the film down first. You can't, we practice at 6 a.m. You can't be there just because you don't have a class at 9 and think we're ready to let's talk about this film. Wait, can you give us at least a lunch? And we have a staff meeting and let's talk about it. But that's how intense and eager to learn and get better that these young men are. And so we're excited about that. Again, we may get hit in the mouth Saturday. We don't know. But it's how we're going to respond to that adversity, right? That's going to be the key. Saturday won't make or break our season, definitely. But it'll just be an introspective, just a little seed. For now, we can put some film for ourselves out and say, hey, guys, these guys didn't know when we called this play that this play was coming. Did we do what was supposed to be done? Were we in the gaps defensively? Are we playing Tiger basketball?
How are you guys feeling so far as a staff regarding lineups? Will you guys show a bunch of different lineups? Have you settled on a starting five? Where are we with lineups?
Coach Reedy, I know you're listening. You see what this guy's doing? He's trying to...
I'm good at my job. I'm good at my job.
We've got a lot of guys who can play effectively at multiple positions. There you go.
Follow up to that. How many guys may we see against Claflin?
I think this is an opportunity where you want to get film. Doesn't mean it. I mean, it could be a minute, could be longer than that. We need to get film on some of these guys to know what it's like going against other people. Yes, guys, we told them the other day in practice, every day, every moment, every drill is an evaluation. Mm-hmm. So, yes, there's an evaluation period going on and things are moving this way for some and another way for others. But Saturday is like that. It's test one. Maybe not test. Maybe it's quiz. Maybe it's a quiz. because it's not a game that counts to say on your. So it's a quiz, but that quiz prepares you for the test that's to come. What do I know? What don't I know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of where we stand with everything about this squad.
Reedy, this guy's too good. I can't get it out of him. He's too good. See, this is one of those times where as a journalist, person, you try to think of another way to ask the same question, but I'm gonna let it go.
I will give you. Here's a little bit. You know, every time you go into a season, and I don't care whether it's your first year with a team, it's your 10th year with a team, you say, how are we gonna feel about this position? And I will just say this, I won't say the position. When we left out of practice today, there's a position group where early in the year, we didn't know. After today, we felt like that may be a position group we can get the best from. And that's all. That's a testament to the guys working, how much work they're putting in film, how much work they're putting in practice with their position coach, and how much better those guys have been.
Reedy, you're supposed to be on my side, man. All right. So you'll have this game against Claflin, which will be closed. Then our next opportunity to see the guys will be November the 2nd.
So no show next week because we'll be playing.
Correct. no show next Thursday. There will be a game being played for everyone that can make it to Tampa. This is open exhibition, correct?
Yes, open exhibition. We would love to have you there. We are very appreciative of the new staff at South Florida, Coach Amir Abdul Rahim, for allowing us the opportunity to come down to Tampa and play them. It'll be a great opportunity for our guys.
For sure. And you and Coach Rahim have some history, a lot of Atlanta ties, and I'm sure anytime you get to play at Division I, the kids are going to be up.
They will. Again, opportunity. You know, just the other day, I think we saw St. Thomas, a good friend of mine, Patrick Carey at St. Thomas. They had a great opportunity versus George Mason. I think they ended up losing by 12. And, you know, Augusta the other day, you know, great opportunity to go to Georgia Southern and take down a Division I. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But we just want the opportunity for our guys. You know, at every level, you have guys that want to play at a higher level. And they want to have film versus guys at a higher level because they do have aspirations to go play professionally. Mm-hmm. And so we want to put our guys in that position at every time we can.
For sure. Fantastic opportunity. Everybody that can make the drive over to Tampa, make the drive to Tampa. Go see this game. Beautiful facilities over in South Florida. You'll enjoy every minute of it. Two coaches that can really, really get after it. Two teams that are going to really get after it. I think it's good that both of you guys are in a new place. Coach Abdul Rahim, his first season at South Florida, although he brought some luggage with him, and it's definitely Louis.
Definitely.
Shout out to Youngblood and Stroud. He brought some luggage with him, and it's definitely. I don't want to forget Casey Jennings as well, but he brought some guys with him down in South Florida, some really great guys. But Tigers, pack it out. I would love to see the Tigers come in waves and see a lot of purple and orange in the building for that game. Now, I think that would be shocking the South Florida faithful that if Edward Waters came down by the boatload, I think that would be great. It would say a lot.
It would. It would. So definitely make your way down to the Yingling Center at South Florida in Tampa. We'd love to see you.
So I'm assuming we're going to get some TV action on that exhibition as soon as.
I think if you go to their website, I want to say it's the ESPN Plus game or ESPN3, one of them. So definitely we should get some action. It's going to be their first action. That's not a scrimmage. So I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm trying to find some details now. I did not see them earlier today, but yeah, I believe you're right. I believe this is ESPN Plus. So
Yeah.
another great thing about this South Florida game, we'll be able to see the guys. So we go immediately to a road stretch. It'll be South Florida on the 2nd, and then the guys will get some time back home before a matchup on November the 11th at Lee University, and then the 15th at Columbus State University. Coach, when we talk about these early kind of road trips early in the season, what is it that you're going to be looking at to learn and understand about the guys?
How do we compete versus two high-level Division II programs that have always been successful, that are perennial winners at the Division II level? How do we compete and how do we match up? What are we able to do versus maybe the way they play is two different styles, but they're two great programs with two great coaches. So it's going to be a measuring stick for us in our new year and our new phase of what we're doing as a new coaching staff, as new players, as a new group. So we want to challenge them coming out the gate. You know, we don't take jobs and opportunities to be average or to be below average. You want to take a job to win, to be a champion. And I think that's what you see in our culture at EWU. And the only way you can be a champion and get to that level is you got to play people who have won. Like, you just got to. And I think being able to play at Lee University, you know, being able to play in Columbus at Columbus State versus Robert Moore, those are challenges we've got to step up and face. And we've talked about it even as SIAC coaches. You know, for whatever reason, the NCAA Division II doesn't like to give us, the CIAA, a lot of credit outside of our conference. You know, last year was one of the first times, few times, I'm not going to say first, few times we got two teams in. You know, we got Miles and Tuskegee, right? I think they were an 8 and 9 seed, if I'm not mistaken. So how do we better our conference? A lot of that goes to us as each team in our conference being better, which I'm pretty sure, I know that's going to happen this year. These guys are locked and loaded. But it also means how do we improve on scheduling? And we talked about that at Media Day amongst us as coaches that, you know, for people to respect us, you got to play some different competition. And that's what I came in saying, that for us to be, you know, the kind of program that we want to be, we've got to play the competition that's always there. So we're excited about it. You know, it's going to be a challenge, you know. And if people don't realize, you know, Coach Reedy, who's listening, former assistant at both those places. How about that? Lee University and Columbus State.
Reedy, I know he'll be maybe standing up a few more times than usual, down in the defensive stance, making sure guys get after it. No, I'll be watching. I think it sets the tone for everything. It tells the guys what the expectations are. We talked about expectations, and the expectations is to be the best and play against the best year in and year out. And I think the type of competitors that you are going to enjoy coaching at Emerald Waters are going to be the kids that love that type of scheduling and seek out those types of battles. So I think they'll enjoy that. Reunion tour. Okay.
But I want to mention this because people have asked, but there is something before we go to Lee after South Florida that you should be hearing about pretty soon for our men and women's program, a little Tiger Madness.
We're going to get Tiger Madness?
On November 7th. So be on the lookout for that. Check out our social media pages, EWU Athletics, EWU Men's Basketball. So you'll get some information on that pretty soon.
I love it. Have the students out.
Yep.
The band will be there.
We're going to have it all. Cheerleaders band. It's going to be a production.
You know how I am about having the band at basketball games. It's got to happen. Got to happen. I'm going to go sit by the tubas. Make sure you get there. Again, check out EWU_MBB for all men's basketball news. They do a great job of keeping that thing up to date and posting. It is not one of those Twitter accounts. I'm sorry, X. I just can't call it that. It's still Twitter. It's not one of those Twitter accounts where you go to the Twitter and they haven't posted anything since last April. It is active. The EWU_MBB Twitter account is active, and it is always up to date with the latest and greatest information. So be sure to check that Twitter account. Guys, we will hear news of some kind from the full scrimmage. Guys, I'm going to ask a million questions. I'm going to pry it out of somebody on that staff. And we'll get updates about the close scrimmage. And then we will watch the South Florida game on November 2nd together as a family. I will maybe I'll live tweet the game. I haven't live tweeted a game in a while. It's been a while since I've live tweeted a game, but we'll see. If the Waters faithful willing to lock in with me, maybe I'll live tweet a game. But we'll do that as a family. Coach, am I missing anything before we close?
Successful season for women's soccer. So excited about them, and our women's volleyball team is having success right now. We just talk about these athletic programs that are going on, and it's just a great time to be a Tiger at EWU. So we are excited about that, and obviously with basketball season about to tip off, it's that time, man. It's that time where you're watching a lot more film. You are tuning in and in that group chat with your coaches, and hey, what do you think about this? And they're challenging you to be better. And so we appreciate it, man. We just appreciate all the love that we've had from alumni and fans at football games, out on the road recruiting, wherever it's been, of them wanting to see us successful. And these young men want to pour everything out into this school and this institution and the fan base to be just as successful as they want us to be. They want to be just as successful for them.
Outstanding. 100%. Championship U in the making. Cabral Waters University will be known as Championship U. So we appreciate, as always, everybody tuned in with us tonight. This was episode 8. I want to shout out again, thanks to Coach Morgan for stopping by, head football coach. Coach Morgan looking for win number 6 this weekend against Allen. We'll be pulling for them. And this could not be done without all of you special people tuning in, locking in, purchasing tickets and gear. Are there still T-shirts left? Can they purchase T-shirts?
Still T-shirts, and our We Are Duval T-shirts should be back in short. Those sold out now. Those sold out at home.
Listen, there are many ways to give. You can stop by the men's basketball office and try to buy a T-shirt, or You can hit your phone right now and use this QR code and make sure you donate. We talked about all the great things that are happening in athletics. We talked about those great uniforms, and we've talked about the t-shirts. We've talked about the helmets. We talked about the upgrades to facilities. It is up to all of us to help make that happen. And here is your way. Click the QR code on your phone. Make your donation. Donations are not just for homecoming.
Yes.
Make your donation to a program where you see where the money is going. This is not the old school church building fund. You see where the money is going.
You can see it, definitely.
You can see it. And it is translating to W's and great grades. So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. There will be no podcast next week, but I will possibly tweet out an update on how things are going, and we'll check back in with you soon. Thanks.